Chevy S10. Let's review it. Most people who aren't familiar with S10s think of the first gen and second gen. First gen being the old square bodies, let's show you the second gen, but there's actually three. Alright, let's talk about the bodies real quick. So, when the S10 came out in 1983, they made the square body up until 93, and that was the first generation. And showing the second generation, which they came out with this in 94 and made it to 97. And the third generation body was made from 98 to 04 when they quit making it. The first generation were the old square bodies that everyone knows, everyone loved those trucks. This right here is the second generation. In 94 when they came out with this, they completely rounded the body and made it look completely different. Alright, besides the dramatic rounded body change in 1994, it's still, a lot of the trucks are still similar. The second gen still have these square headlights. That's the difference between the third gen that came out with a rounded light that comes around, and the trim and interior completely changed. But this truck, besides the body style, still ran off the same frame. But all of the trim was upgraded and the interior was completely changed in the third generation. But the second generation, even though it looked way different, inside it was still a pretty basic standard truck, and the lights were still, a lot of things were still the same. Let's talk about the drivetrain. So the S10, you had three different engines. You had the 2.2 4-cylinder, the 2.8 V6, which GMC used 2.6, and then you had the 4.3, which is what we have here today. The 2.8 was used from 83 to 92. The 4.3 was put in S10s from 92 to 04, only being in the square bodies for the last 2 years. The 4.3 Vortec had, like this one right here with the TBI throttle body, had 165 horsepower. Then they used the 4.3 up to 04 when they quit making it, and only had a few changes. They had upgraded the block and the heads, and they had changed it to spider injection, and it had 190 horsepower. The only other time the 4.3 had more power than that in the S10s was in 91. They were putting the S10 Cyclone with 288 horsepower, which was the fastest 0 to 60 truck at like 5.3 seconds for 30 years. Still the fastest stock truck you can buy. So for the transmissions you had in these, throughout all the S10s, you had a 4-speed and a 5-speed manual. 4-speed automatic, 5-speed manual. This one right here, behind the 4.3, has a NV 3500, which was produced by Chevy. It's been a lot of Dodges. Also, some of these had the NV, or the HM 290, which was only used by Chevy. Same version, the rebuild kits are the same. The 2.2 liter, same year, and second gen, third gen, had a T5 5-speed transmission behind them. And as you can see here, I actually had the rear bumper removed on this truck because it's about to be painted. But anyway, just don't mind that. So here we got the rear end. So this rear end right here's got a 4:10 ratio in it. The S10 with the V6 can pull 6,000 pounds. The 4-cylinder 5,500. And that's a lot of weight for these small trucks, and it's because of the rear end. Look up S10 tug of wars, completely off topic of the video here, but these trucks, I've seen so many of these trucks win tug of wars against 4-wheel drive dualies, Dodge, Ford, Chevy, you name it, whatever. Last part of the drivetrain we're talking about today is the frame, which even though the old square bodies, even though they changed and rounded up in '94, they still use the same frame. And in the '90s, they also, America, seeing how great these frames and how good the drivetrain on these trucks were, they took and made United States postal trucks, little mail trucks, add these S10 frames in the '90s. Want to know more about that? Check into it. Also, if you were looking for a four-wheel drive S10 in the third gens, so in '98 you could get CR2 S10s, which is what these rims came off. These are four-wheel drive rims. There's 2.5-inch spacers that's allowing them to be on this truck now. This is a two-wheel drive. And also, if you wanted a more sleek, sporty truck, they also had the S10 Extreme, which was lowered, had tighter suspension, extreme sway bars, and also had like a body kit and lower bumpers in the front and the back, and had a trim kit on it. Pretty nice looking truck. Interior. Like I said, '94, and they came out with the second gen, which is what this is. They had a huge body style change, but really it was still a basic truck. Still had simple rolly windows, manual locks. Very simple knobs. All you gotta do is a AC, 2 buttons, aftermarket radio, and then you have simple gauges. You got your temperature, your oil, your speed, RPMs. You have a voltage, and you have your gas. Oh, it's because the door's open, but that turns the interior lights on. There's your key switch right there. And this right here is aftermarket for the exhaust. And so this truck has aftermarket bucket seats in it actually, but before it had a bench seat that you could seat 3. And then it's got 2 seats in the back that flip down. And you have these very small flip seats, which in the '90s commercials for Ford and Chevy said that for small occupants would be very comfortable. Then you have your jack. So in the second gens, you have a jack here because it's the extended cab. In the extended cab on the third gens, there's actually a cup holder and a little seat here where you can eat or whatever, or a little bench. And now talking about a feature this truck had that I didn't know it had until about 4 days ago when I was watching a ad for '94. It has a quick release tailgate that it was bragging about to take off in like 6 seconds, which, and yeah. It's true. So this truck was made for work. It's got a 6-foot, along with having an extended cab, it's still got a 6-foot bed in it. So I got a toolbox and I can still fit a lawnmower in the back of here with the tailgate down. Alright. That's about all I can say about these 80s, 90s pickups. This one right here, again, second gen, this is a '95 S10. If you want a model like this, they made these from '94 to '97. Then they had the third gens. The pretty dependable truck's that 4.3, which is a chopped 350, and 350 was the most reliable motor Chevy ever made, which includes the 4.3. Depends how much you like Chevy, whether that means anything to you. This one right here has got 318,000 miles on it. Just put a new engine in it, and I figured out the odometer. I believe it stopped working about 7 years ago. So, how many miles people put on a car in 7 years? So we'll say it's got 400,000 on it, and transmission still works good. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please drop a like, subscribe, and see more. I got a lot of other vehicles around the yard I could do a video like this on if you want to. But yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching.